Welcome back to the channel. This is a video about game. Specifically, well, there's a couple things we got to talk about. First of all, PAX. There's a lot of stuff that happened there. Second of all, we're going to talk about some of my thoughts that I've had recently about game. And there's a lot of them. And I think they're leading me to a good place. And we're going to get into that. But first, let's talk about all the PAX stuff. And I'm just going to go over my top 5 things that I saw at PAX that make me excited. If you want a more in-depth video of, exact list of things that were shown that are new, Chewy's got a great video for that. 33 things that were shown that are new at PAX. Watch that video. Yeah. My list of top 5 things. Number 1, Blathers, as he starts in a tent. I think that's really cool. It adds some progression to the game. Makes you have to earn the big museum setup. And I like that. I like the idea that if he starts in a tent, I'm guessing, everybody does. So I'm curious to see how that system will work with the other vendors and what sort of goals or metrics we'll have to meet to get them up and running in their own buildings. So I'm excited about that. It just means a lot more progression and a lot more to achieve and get done. And yeah, it just feels right. Second thing that I liked, number 2, the villagers will just say your name when they want to talk to you, and it's super cute. They're like, hey, I want to talk to you. And they say your name, and it's cute. I like that. It's just little things like that, just make me smile, make my cold dead heart go a little bit warmer, I guess. Number 3, the fact that we got to see Sable again. Nothing new there. I just like to see her. Anytime I can see her is a good time. So really like that part of it. Number 4, I saw just one tiny Twitter video about it, but we can jump over little holes. That's pretty cool. Our little shovel dig holes. Previously we saw them jump over rivers, and now we can jump over holes. And just a nice quality of life improvement there. I'm going to be jumping over holes in 3 weeks. And then number 5, I really dig that there is no gender select option. Everything is gender neutral, or you can, choose whatever you want to portray your character the way you want to be portrayed. And I like that. It's very inclusive and accessible. And I just think it's a great change. It's something that is very small, minor, but it will impact a lot of people positively. And I really think that's a good change. So I'm pleased to see that. So those are my top 5 things. Some real things in there, some very real things in there, like seeing Sable again. And, yeah, overall, there's been nothing I've really seen and I'm like, about. So we're pretty pleased overall. Now I want to talk about some of my thoughts that I've had recently about game. And these kind of play off of the thoughts that I had in my first video that I made on this channel, which was a long time ago, a whole 3 weeks ago, where I said that I was nervous or cautious or just hesitant about how I'm going to receive this game and how I'm going to connect with it. And so since that time, not a lot has changed. I'm still old. I still have these same sort of expectations from media that I did then. My gaming habits have not changed much. So, on the outside, there doesn't seem to be too much that has changed. But I remembered one thing. And this is a big thing, and most of you are going to think I'm dumb in just a second here when I say it, but I don't care. And that's the fact that the Switch is, it can do the home console thing and it can be the road console thing. And I think that's important. And remembering that is pretty big for me because it changes the whole ball game. And here's why. I have always been a home console person, which is probably why I only thought of this now, because my Switch has basically been in the dock since day one. Not totally true, but I never play it at home outside of the dock. And I do bring it when I travel, but I don't travel that often. But anyway, I've always been a home console person. My idea of playing video games in general is sitting on my bed, looking at a TV, and with a controller in my hand. That's how I want to game generally. So I think part of what caused sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a full-on disconnect, but just sort of the, I didn't have the same level of connection with a Wild World and New Leaf as I did with Population Growing, is because of the handheld aspect. I don't like gaming on handheld at home. And so intrinsically that just kind of leaves the handheld to be an experience that is, consumed while I'm traveling or while I'm on the move or on the go or whatever. And that limits my ability to play it all the time and makes it more difficult for me to connect more consistently, because I'm not coming home and playing it, because it's something that I, have this mental block in place that says, I don't enjoy this as much when I'm at home. I only enjoy this experience when I'm traveling or whatever. Yeah, I think that's like this whole thing that I've just realized is now that the Switch is, a Switch and it switches. I don't have to make that. There's no compromise there. I can have my home console experience. I can come back to that same sort of vibe that I had coming home from school every day as a, I don't know, third grader playing Population Growing. And it's a static experience that's always there. It's always on my TV. It's something that is easy to slot into every single day. But I can also, if I'm going somewhere, if I have a trip, I'm going to Europe this summer, if I bring my Switch, I can have that experience on the go too. So there's no holes in that strategy. I have no compromise gaming at all times. And you all are like, yeah, you're dumb. This is something we all figured out a long time ago. But I'm telling you right now, I figured it out this week. And I felt really smart when I did. And now I feel less. But I'm happy because I feel better about the game. And obviously there are some other things that made it feel better too. The direct, the fact that the game looks polished, all of these demos and new stuff we're seeing at PAX makes me feel better. There's a general hype around it. But that was the big thing that I thought about this week that was like, oh, that completely changes things. So, yeah, I'm excited to have a console experience. I'm excited to have a handheld experience. And I'm excited for those to live in the bubbles that I've constructed for them and combine to be one whole experience. That sentence makes no sense, but I said it. So that's the end of this video. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. Okay, bye.